Yeah, the 2 supply blocks early on were bad, and you know, they've been the downfall of a lot of players here at the MLG Spring Arena. In fact, Idra's games yesterday were consequently because he had an early, like a 36 supply block, and it does happen to the best of them, you know.
Yeah, it does.
But it is something that can have such a massive effect on the game overall.
Yeah, it really can. And ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to bring you Evil Genius as Thorzain. He is in the red trunks, and he is playing Terran to the southwest of MLG Daybreak versus his opponent, who is currently down 1 game in this best-of-3 series and facing elimination. It is Team Clash's Mook in the blue trunks.
Elimination is the name of the game today.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you what, this is, you know, day 1 is a pretty comfortable day. You've got some tough matches, but no one's got to worry about going home. Not till day 2. Well, today you could just see it on the players' faces. They walk in. We unfortunately, you know, Goody defeated MMA. MMA looked crushed on the way home. His tweet was like
question
7
marks.
question marks.
How did this happen? It's kind of our own fault because we did play the funeral march as they walked into the office. That's probably not. That might have set the tone. Maybe want to work on that.
Just a little bit, yeah.
We just thought maybe we can add an interesting psychological element to this matchup. And yeah, everyone's terrified now. So there you go. Thorzain opening up with that barracks here. Not going to go for anything crazy like CC first. Not seeing any gas yet. He could add it on. We'll see in the next few seconds if he's going to do that, which is looking like he will not. So once again, looks like gasless 1 racks expand from him. And on his side, it's a 12-gate start here for Mook.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Thorzain is very meticulous when it comes to that sort of opening in a Terran versus Protoss matchup. But we talked a little bit earlier how, you know, Thorzain does like this matchup. He actually enjoys playing versus Protoss. And
that's a really fast second gas from Mook.
It is very fast, you're right.
Very fast. That was a second assimilator on 16 supply. Now that's interesting. I have to wonder what we're going to be seeing here from Mook.
Well, you know, the other thing is we've been seeing Protosses do this double gas where they only put 2 harvesters inside each gas, and I'm not sure if that's what he's going to go, or maybe he is going to power out gas for some sort of T play later on.
That's exactly what he's doing at the moment. He's 2 in each, so he wants 4, wants a little bit more, but he doesn't want that many. That's going to be nice for his sentry count, certainly for early defense. Not that I would expect a lot of aggression coming out of Thorzain anyway, so I wonder what kind of tech play he can pull off with this. Yeah,
and Protoss has a lot of different tech that they could go.
No
you know,
question.
It's one of the reasons why I just, you know, enjoy casting them so much is because there's so much utility. I still feel like Total Biscuit, there is so much to be unlocked as far as the Protoss is concerned. I mean, you look at the evolution of their gameplay, their build orders since the beginning of time, and they just, you know, we keep on seeing new stuff. Look at like the Warp Prism micro that we're seeing really prevalent in some of the games today, and a lot of players knew about this but are now unlocking its potential. So there's just a lot of cool tech paths I really love coming out of the Protoss.
Yeah, absolutely. And people aren't even going to figure it all out before we get to Heart of the Swarm either. So that's going to throw a spanner in the works. Well, 3 barracks being added on here by Thorzain. Still gasless, actually, which is really interesting.
You know, actually, check out the vision of Thorzain really quick. Did he see the double? He did see the double gas, so he got a good scout inside. Maybe this is a reaction to it. He might be able to have a really, really fantastic push here with just Marines early on. But, you know, we have sentries out at all for Mook? Any?
Not a single one thus far, which is curious. Like, look at the amount of gas he's banked up at this stage. Like, you would think, what is he going to do with this? If he had additional gateways, you could be thinking, right, well, he's going to go for maybe a big sentry warman. Goes for that robo again. This is the same build order that we saw previously, but he got the gas earlier this time around.
Yeah, so how many Marines are we at right now? At least 4?
5, and he's building now 4 at a time. And
so
actually, there's like nothing to stop this at the moment. There's 1 Stalker, and he's only on 1 gate. This could be a colossal mistake here for Mook. If Thorzain just decides to push with raw Marines, that could just kill him outright. Oh no, and the Stalker actually taking quite a little bit of damage as well. Mook managed to get it out there before it takes any armor damage, but I have to wonder if he's now going to... There we go. Additional gateways now being added on. He's realizing, something's up. 4 Marines in the middle of the map. Not liking that.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, it was smart for Thorzain to hide what was still at his natural. He's now bringing all these Marines together, going to march a few more, and I do believe he's going to go for some aggression. Now, if it's not spotted, which it does look like he has vision, and again, Thorzain's not showing everything at the same time, but he's showing an awful lot of Marines. There's some good micro spreading those guys out, not losing a single one. Love it. And I feel like, I mean, he's going to let's take a look at the front of the base for Mook. What has he got here?
Very
Literally,
little. He's got a couple of sentries now moving in, so that could cause a few problems here and there. And Thorzain with additional Marines this time around. He's got 15 on the map. They're not all there in this engagement here. And the sentry play is not quite good enough, but Mook saves that one and keeps it on for a while, but he's really just playing delay right now. Mook has nothing to stop this. Once those force fields are out, Thorzain marches in and does severe damage to that Nexus.
I mean, he's already going to do some damage here. We got a couple of Stalkers moving out, but he wants to go after those sentries, and that's exactly what he's going to do.
Oh no, that's a lot of gas that you mined early, Mook, that you're not going to see again, and a really nice surround there by Mook actually to clean that up. So 3 sentries traded for about 10, 11 Marines, and no economic damage really being done to Mook. So that could have gone a hell of a lot worse.
It could have. Now, there's still not any ground army at all for Mook. He is going to get a ramp up in his production. Actually, Thorzain has ceased production a little bit because he's getting all those add-ons. He had his
Look
tech
at this
lab
number of tech
come
labs.
early.
Like, he's going for 3 tech labs, 1 barracks with a reactor there.
Yeah, maybe he's just going to go Marauder heavy at this point as well. I mean, there we see the starport coming up because he is going to put another, well, reactor down on top of that factory. So he's going to keep going with the bio, but it is such an interesting opening here. I thought it was going to do so much more damage, but I guess still taking out those 3 sentries, if you would look at what he would have now, he would have 6 sentries, 3 of them with full energy.
Well, I'll give credit to Mook. He did an excellent job of holding up the advance with that single stalker and not losing it. If he'd lost that and Thorzain could have just marched straight across the map unharassed, then it would have done a lot more because it bought him the time to warp in those 3 additional stalkers.
Now we have already the Twilight Council down. We're going to the robotics bay as well. The observer does see what's going on here, and we'll see that tech lab heavy composition. Of course, it is going to allow him to get those bio upgrades out pretty quickly, but do we have an engineering bay?
We do. Yep, he's going for +1 infantry weapon at the moment. May see another nice little timing push from Thorzain here, possibly when combat shield completes. If you look at the force here, it's going to complete with 2 medevacs, so he probably goes with a push there, I would think. Very Marauder heavy, as we pointed out, but I have to wonder if that's going to work out so well. We'll see if Mook decides to add on more Zealots. If he keeps building Stalkers, then he's going to be a little bit of trouble, I feel. But he is adding Blink on.
You know, this'll actually be very interesting engagement. The sentry count is getting higher. We're going to have the first Colossus coming out soon. Extended Thermal Lance hasn't been started yet. And now we see the Protoss Mook player with, you know, a few more minerals than gas. He was pooling a lot of gas early on. But I still very curious about his opening build order there. I don't know. I'm just going to have to go back and take a look at it a little bit more later on. But Thorzain's looking really nice right now. He's going to have an opportunity here with the combat shield finishing up to go in for another attack. And, you know, depending on which way it goes, it looks like he has a Marine circling around through the 3rd over there to check out exactly what this composition looks like. And he may
He's legging it. He's legging it. Oh, nice force field. Love it right there from Mook. He stops. Does he spot the scout? Let's just check out. Did he see it? He did. He got the scout. It was a good force field, but not quite good enough. The keen eyes and that Marine pick it up at the last possible moment. Well, we've got Extended Thermal Lance on the way. I feel maybe there was a possibility Thorzain could have pushed, but he's obviously not going to utilize any kind of timing here. He is adding on 2nd starport already to really start pumping out those Vikings. I still think he could have gone in there as the first Colossus popped out without Extended Thermal Lance and actually really done some damage, but he's playing it patient.
I mean, Mook is similar to last game. He does have a bunch of stalkers inside his base. Now it looks like they're moving out of the base and to rejoin the army. So I certainly hope he's not necessarily moving forward for a push, because I'm not quite sure that would be the right thing to do. But defending a possible 3rd here as it goes up, certainly going to be a good move for him.
Yeah, Thorzain sitting on a 3rd of his own right now, which is totally untouched at the moment. Still piling up here to warp in defensively. Both of these guys just testing each other's defenses. Nothing really conclusive happening just yet, which seems to be the way of it when it comes to Mook and Thorzain.
Oh, and he's going to get 2 for the price of 1.
Bargain bin right there from Thorzain.
Yeah, that was phenomenal. Now he sees that first Colossus out, and actually there's 2 Colossus out. So what he barely saw is now confirmed. The question is with the Vikings out, there are 4 being made. Not sure if there were any existing before that. This army is looking pretty good for Mook here.
It's not too bad, man, but the Viking count's at 10. Those Colossus
wow.
they're just not going to live. There is oh my god, here he goes. Here comes the pain. Thorzain gets force fielded, actually. Nice play there by Mook, but those Colossi barely get a shot off here. He needs to get past the force fields, needless to say. Those Vikings now, unfortunately, a little bit useless. Nice blink micro here from Mook as well. Efficiently trading, but I don't think he's got quite enough, and now the counter push comes in right here from Thorzain.
Yeah, he's just going to be able to stim forward, too, and to maximize his damage here. Those EMPs just came out at a very critical time. The nice thing as well is that even though we saw the force fields, those EMPs hit the remainder of the sentries, so they didn't have a Guardian Shield, they didn't have additional force fields at all, and I think Thorzain actually could have pushed forward even further.
I think so.
But he still, you know, he still was just content with the damage that he did, and it was a lot of damage.
Oh yeah, no question about that. Units lost, it's not quite as extreme as the previous game, but Mook has lost more, and the economy of Thorzain is better. Nice little bit of harassment here, at least it would have been. He's going to have to blink out of that, because that's going to be a highly embarrassing loss here for this Stalker. Is he actually going to let it die? Well, that shouldn't have happened. Good lord.
That shouldn't have, but, you know, we all have our embarrassing moments. So.
Indeed. SCV's got a nice little chink on its armor there. It's like 1 kill, Stalker, and his friends ask, well, how the hell did you do that?
Yes, he is, although that SCV is quickly not liked because he thinks he's better than everyone else. And
yeah, exactly. He gets ostracized and eventually fired. There's this big discrimination suit, and he wins this massive payout, and he goes to retire on a private island.
Now, you know, with the loss of those two those two observers as well, Total Biscuit, it kind of minimizes, well, obviously the vision, but there's no way to get that vision for any sort of blink play. I mean, this map doesn't really play that well as far as the blink play is concerned.
No, it really doesn't.
If you can throw an opponent off attacking a third and then going into the main, we've seen situations where a lot of damage can be done. But in this particular situation, I feel like Mook may be overextending himself just a tad, but I do like the fact that he's still trying to keep Thorzain in his base and keep some map presence here. But if he's caught off like he is kind of right there, yeah, he's got to run.
I'm not liking Mook's upgrades this time around. He's getting charged, which is nice, because he's only just started Protoss ground weapon level 2. He does have the +2 armor, but we've got 2-2 coming in for Thorzain as well. I feel that Mook could have been a little bit further ahead in that regard. Thorzain now pushing forward, picking off proxy pylons, so he can deny reinforcement points, deny that crucial scouting information. There is still one up here, which could be unbelievably pesky for this base.
Yeah, the few zealots going in there, and it could be GG for that base. But you know what? The other thing about Thorzain, every single time he's got his Vikings ready. He doesn't overmake them, but like, here's 3 Vikings, so if I do see your Colossus, I'm going to be able to easily grab what else I need to.
He always grabs the early starport as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, yeah, and his ghosts always seem to be like at that perfect timing, if not a little bit before. So it's not like making it in terms of to be overly cautious about it. He always seems to make it with just a very impeccable timing, and it's just always such an impressive display here.
He's adding on a 3rd starport, which is really interesting at this stage, because you might think he probably wouldn't need that many. He is a bit behind his ship weapon upgrades. Last time around, he was almost at level 3 by this stage, so he's making up for that with an additional starport. Could also go for some extremely funky transition into some more advanced airplay after that. Maybe he wants to copy MVP in that game that we saw last night with Squirtle, but somehow I don't think so. Thorzain now is going to try and pressure this 3rd base. Colossus count is only at 3, and there's only 3 Templars. Well, Marauder count is silly high. Yeah, 33 here.
That's insane.
Yeah, good luck killing that number, I tell you. And Storm's not up yet. This is going to be really, really nice for Thorzain, I feel. Mook just doesn't have the army to stop this. Force fields keep the Colossus alive for a little while, but there's so many Vikings. One more volley takes that one down, and I think Thorzain can just win at this point. Yeah, he really can.
He should. He should be able to march right into the opponent's base, put that flag into the ground, and say, this is the land of Thorzain. Having that almost so many Vikings has helped out so much, because he's every single time eliminated that Colossus threat, and with this Bioforce, he's having no problems here. The upgrades are good. There's some EMPs blanketing down. He should just be able to push it.
Yeah, this is just a case of sledgehammer right onto the face. That blink didn't really help an awful lot here by Mook. His army plummets below 50 supply. There's the GG, and Thorzain mangling Mook in that matchup. Whew, well, that was a bit of a mismatch, wasn't it? Mook unfortunately eliminated from the tournament, but Thorzain looking really strong, obviously back on form after that early loss there, and advances in the losers bracket.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly who Thorzain's next opponent could potentially be, but either way, he's got to be feeling good about making it, advancing forward. That means that there's still 2 Evil Geniuses members left in the competition, both of them in the lower bracket, Huck and, of course, E.G. Thorzain.
Yep.
But, I mean, I think that was the match that Thorzain needed to win. Coming up next in round 2, that is where, that's where it's going to really matter. And Thorzain is a guy that's fought hard through losers brackets and has been able to make the best of it, but don't forget just how crazy this field is. And let's see, who is it going to be? So Sake.
That will be a long one. I've seen Thorzain v Sake before on several occasions. It's usually a very even matchup. Sake is incredibly patient, and as is Thorzain. So expect a very passive game. Whoever gets to cast that is going to be chilled out and relaxed.
Yeah, it's going to be it's going to be a long one.
Oh, yeah.
Not sure if we have any other updates as far as round 2.
We do, actually. Alicia 2-0 Oz. Oz out of the tournament right there. Kind of a surprise considering Oz's PvP dominance.
Yeah, and that's actually the second. In fact, he plays nothing but PvPs in the Spring Arena. He loses to Grubby in winter round 1. And then loses to Alicia.
We got another player who hasn't picked up a single map, and that was a big surprise there. Alicia actually goes on to face Ganji there.
Yeah, Ganji versus Alicia should also be a great match. I mean, Ganji, although he's in the lower bracket, he's been consistent at these MLG events. Grubby versus Goody, we knew about that one after Goody's upset over MMA. And Ryung versus Killer is in progress right now. Should be a very interesting TVP.
Yeah, one of those going on to play Rain, and the second round of the losers bracket right there. Tefl v Rhett. That'll be an interesting one, honestly. I'm looking forward to that. Tefl 2-0 Select, which surprised a lot of people, although I have been told that Select may have been playing Diablo until 5 in the morning.
I heard he's got some Diablo-itis. That
seems to be a problem for the Koreans. I can't even remember which Korean was giving advice saying, please go outside.
That was Violet.
Violet,
yeah.
Yes,
because he was a big D2 player.
Yeah.
Huge D2 player.
Eat some, go outside, please. He's almost pleading
Yes.
with them. Don't kill yourselves on Diablo. And I take Violet's advice, because you know what? He's doing incredibly well this tournament. He knows what's up.
He does. And, I mean, people stay focused. They know that they have a big tournament coming up. Unfortunately for Select, his run is cut very short. It gives Tefl a great opportunity to come in here and really make a name for himself, but he's going to have to beat a long-standing European Zerg, Rhett.
Oh, yeah. Don't mess with Rhett under any circumstances.
And he did play a pretty good series versus Stefano yesterday in his EVZ. And Rhett says one thing that's interesting is that he always feels like he'll play better if his opponent is playing well. So, take that for what it's worth. But I think it should be this Polish Zerg, Tefl.
I'm noticing a lot of Zergs in this tournament to continue to actually stay in. Of course, we've got Idra out. I'm interested also to see who wins from Bly versus Bling. Bly, great Zerg online player. Bling, best UK player. Very good with the PVZ matchup.
Right.
Because he plays against Stefano. He's Stefano's practice partner.
Right.
He's incredibly good at that matchup. If he were to actually go through, I would not say that Huck is going to have an easy time of it in that PvP.
No, I mean, of all the round 2 matches, Huck probably wants, he's happy with the winner of Bly versus Bling.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. It's not certainly going to be a walkover. And Huck has had, he's had a shaky. He had a couple really good games versus Sleep.
Yep, he did well there.
But his games versus Hart, I think even he was a bit disappointed.
Oh, you could tell on his face.
Yeah.
He really, really was. And you can't blame him because the circumstances in which he went down were unfortunate, to say the least.
Yep. So I'm not sure what's coming up next on Gameplay 1, but we're going to have more MLG Spring Arena. It's probably going to be another lower round 2 matchup, or possibly even a round 1 matchup. We'll see what the progress is on that, but we'll keep you updated here. And I'm DJ Wheat.
And I'm Total Biscuits.
And we'll be back with more MLG Spring Arena 2 after this. Thanks for joining us.